So what's up YouTube, this is Max from N10 Productions, and today I will have instructions for the Naval Warfare extension to Micro Brick Battle. This is just like micro minifigures where it's my idea, but it's meant to work with Brickmania's Micro Brick Battle. So this will include instructions for all of the vehicles and I guess other equipment you will need to play the most common version of this game that I've played. That will be at the end of this video, after all the other instructions and other stuff that I have normally in this video. So let's get into it. Equipment are the same as regular Micro Brick Battle, so you need 2 6-sided dice, a tape measure that is measured in inches and not centimeters, and then I guess the game models, just vehicles that you need. That would be your choice, but you know, it's different on how many. Each game is different, just with the amount of vehicles you have. And then starting setup is slightly different. So basically, if you want to play the regular way, you need these 8x8, 6x6, 4x6, 4x4, whatever. But I don't think any bigger than 8x8. You need these tan plates to serve as islands. So these are crucial. Maybe you could just have them where there are just 3, but I guess the more there are, the more interesting it is. But the basic rule of this game is, or I guess the basic goal is to either have control of all of the islands, or to destroy all of your opponents and then have control of the islands. So most of the time it would be to destroy all of your opponent's vehicles to have control of the islands, but you know, it's kind of different every time. Or you could do it the way me and my brother do, where one team starts out by occupying most of the islands, so then what you have to do is you have to take over the islands, basically by destroying the other person's fleet. So then, basically, what happens is you have the islands all in the middle, and then you have either team on either side, or either players on either side, and then also if you want to have reserve parts of your fleet, then that has to be decided on beforehand. Important things about how the game goes, or the goal, has to be decided beforehand, and then I guess you just decide who goes first, and then same turn phases, so movement phase, target declaration phase, and shooting or attack phase, and kind of the same way. So you move up to as many movement points as the movement points of the vehicle allows you to. So then after that, once all your vehicles are moved, then you do the target declaration phase, where you declare targets, and then any targets that are not declared during that are voided, so you can't declare targets in the middle of the attack phase, so you will have to wait till the next turn to do that. Then for this specifically, you have to, the range of your weapons is the number of movement points it has, or no, the number of attack points it has. So if a vehicle has 10 attack points, it can attack within a 10-inch radius. If a vehicle has 5 attack points, it can attack within a 5-inch radius. So let's say from the regular Micro Brick Battle, I had a Valentine tank, which has 3 attack points. So then there's a Panther 4 in 2 inches away from me, and a Panzer 5 inches away from me. Because I only have 3 attack points, if I were using that rule for my regular micro brick battle, I could only attack the Panther 4, or the Panzer 4, and not the Panther, because the Panzer 4 is within my 3-inch radius. Then with this one, to be more historically accurate and just kind of more simple, the range is, the attack range is the number of attack points in inches. So that makes sense. Movement in reverse and turning penalty are the same. I guess the only terrain stuff would be sunken ships, islands, and you could do stuff like rocks or whatever. But the rule for sunken ships is if they are within touching distance of an island and they are attacked and destroyed in a turn, they are just flipped over onto their side. If they are not within touching distance, you take them off of the table or off the board playing area and put them in a discard pile. So basically it kind of differs just because of how big it is, but also with that rule, to be in charge of an island, you have to be within touching distance of it. So if one team is in charge of this island, you cannot be within touching distance of it until all of their ships are destroyed, until like it's clear, or ships that are your own ships are within touching distance of it. So then also, to be in charge of an island, you have to have at least one of your ships at all times within touching distance. If there are no vehicles at all within touching distance of the island, with the exception of planes on there, it does not belong to anybody. So if there are planes that have crashed on there or landed on there, it doesn't belong to them either. There would have to be ships there. So I think that makes sense. Line of sight rules are just the same. So an island, well, I guess it would only be an island that would be in the way of a clear line of sight. Unless it's another one of your ships or another ship. So if there was an island and there's a ship behind it and you wanted to shoot at the ship behind the island, you would have to have another vehicle have a clear line of sight on that vehicle that you wanted to attack. And then just for the sake of simplicity, you don't have to be oriented any direction, just since the turrets would be able to move 180 degrees to either side, maybe more than that, but we'll just say that you can attack in any direction. And then attack range is the number of attack points, but for planes, I guess they'd have to be, you could go by that rule, or you could just say that they have to be within 3 inches of any vehicle to attack it. And then now for planes, if they want to attack a naval vehicle and they attack it but they don't destroy it, they can just stay there by that vehicle until the next turn, and then they can try again. Even if you've used all of your movement points to get to that ship and then you attacked it and destroyed it, it does not take any movement points away to get to the nearest island or aircraft carrier. Destroyed vehicles, like I said, if they're within touching distance of an island, they're just turned over and then they are an obstacle, but only to moving. They are not an obstacle of a clear line of sight, just only an obstacle of moving. And then if they're outside of touching distance, they get removed from the table board area, so then that is no longer a hazard. Conflict resolution is the same, and then it's essentially all the same, but like I was saying, you could have these planes from this side and planes from this side in this scale come and then join together. If you wanted to have that be a bit more detailed, you could use Micro Brick Battles Naval or Aerial Warfare whenever that comes out, which I hope it comes out soon because that'll be awesome. But then like you could go to a separate table and set up the number of planes that you had there, specific to the number that you sent out or whatever, and then have that battle, have the outcome, whatever. Then go back to the other table that has the naval warfare, and then take away game pieces corresponding to the losses or whatever. Same thing with islands. There are these vehicles, which I guess would be classified as LSTs, or just large landing craft, whatever. Now this piece here, which is a 1x1 plate with a vertical clip and a minifigure hand, is meant to signify a tank or a tank squadron. So you would have, it's decided beforehand how many tanks are designated by that piece. So you could say, like, this is 4 tanks, and this is 4 tanks, or this is 8 tanks, this is 8 tanks, 16 tanks, this is 16 tanks, whatever. So that once you get close to an island with that vehicle, it takes 1 movement point from the LST to unload the tanks onto there, and then you can't mess with them until your enemy does the same. And then you could also have LSTs come and just plant 1x1 realm plates to be squadrons of micro minifigures, which you could also say this is like 2 squadrons, this is 4 squadrons, whatever. So then once they do that, then you could go to a separate table from the aerial warfare and the naval warfare, and then set up the terrain, how it would be on the island, whatever, and then play it out in tanks and infantry and support vehicles there. And then once you're done, you could go back to the LSTs, or just leave them there and then have that designated as under your control. So technically the LST counts as a ship, although it can't really attack other ships. It can attack islands because it has tanks and infantry and artillery too, so that would count as under your control. If the LST left to go back to your reserve pile to pick up more tanks, it would still be under your control because there's infantry and tanks. Now, if the enemy decided to land, or enemy as being your opponent, decided to land more tanks on there, you could fight it out. If you beat them again, it's still under your control. If they beat you and even their LST leaves, then it would be under their control. So I guess that makes sense. And then you could also send in, at the same time, you could send in LSTs, and then you could also send in planes too, over the island, so you can have aerial warfare and tank warfare. And then if you want to get really complicated, you could have a turn where it's specifically naval warfare, and then a turn where it's specifically aerial warfare, and then a turn where it's specifically tank warfare. So naval warfare, aerial warfare, tank warfare, then after that turn, or after you and your friend's turn, then you switch to naval warfare again, and then you and your friend's turn, aerial combat, you and your friend's turn, tank combat, you and your friend's turn, until like the whole war is won, and whatever. That would require a lot of vehicles, but I mean, it'd be super fun, and it'd take forever. And then you could also, I guess, just have the attack points be raised to 12, so 12 attack points, 10 defense points, whatever, I don't know. But I guess naval vehicles could attack land. I mean, that'd be kind of complicated because you would have to target specific areas, not specific vehicles. So I guess, well, you'd have to specifically target vehicles. That gets super complicated. But if I come out with a video explaining in the simplest way I can a way for naval warfare to attack land vehicles, I will have a specific and separate video about that, if I can ever think of that. So I hope this all makes sense. Now after this, all of this last stuff, you can see the building instructions for all of these vehicles. But I think that's all I've got for you today. So if you didn't know, maybe you already know, I came out with the AK-47 video yesterday, which is super fun. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it, see it again, and then tell everybody you know about it. Don't forget to like this video, like that video. Give me your honest opinion about it, so I can change anything in future videos. Give me ideas for future videos too, stop motion videos, either in the comments for this video or that video. And then I will see you next week with the SDKFZ video. So I guess I will see you then. Okay, so basic building instructions. This is a squadron, which I guess you could say it would have to be pre-decided to, but I guess 3 or 4, maybe even 5 designated SBD Dauntless dive bombers, but that would be when you're attacking other ships, just in this scale, it would only be counted as 1, so you use the same attack points down in the description below. So it is a 1x2 jumper plate, a 1x1 round brick, and then this 1x2 plate with 1 vertical clip. Now this main stand system you could have in any color. I have brown, as you can see, but you can use it in any color, and this corresponds to all of these. Now this plane is the F4F /FM Wildcat. That's what I thought of. You could use it as other vehicles, but essentially the same stand idea. 1x2 jumper plate, 1x2 round brick, and then 1x1 plate with a horizontal clip facing this direction. So here is a squadron of the Nakajima. I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, so feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. B5N Kate, Nakajima B5N Kate, same stand, 1x2 jumper plate, 1x1 round brick, and then this piece, which I came up specifically for this, 1x2 plate with this vertical click joint, then same stand, and then 1x2 or 1x1 plate with horizontal clip, same like that, just different color. A6M20 Sen. So then of course it's pre-decided how many these have, so like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, whatever, especially based on historical accuracy. That all has to be pre-decided by you. And then just basically for this, light gray is America, dark gray is Japan. You could change it up though and use different color schemes, especially for like Germany, Britain, France, Italy, all those other countries. So this specifically, this one here is the, let's see, U.S. Ticonderoga class cruiser. Combat vehicle stats down in the description below. 1x3 plate, 1x2 jumper plate, 1x1 round plate. This is a U.S. battleship. That's the only name I have for it, is just the Battleship. It's mostly the medium-sized. Combat vehicle stats in the description down below. For different countries, though, will be down in the description below. But they will be under the name of cruiser, battleship. I think this is light. I don't know exactly what this is, but this is more of like a medium battleship and then a large battleship. And then small carrier and large carrier. So just to let you know. Then this is the U.S. battleship, 1x4 plate, 1x2 jumper plate, 1x1 round plate. Then medium battleship, 1x6 plate, 1x4 plate, 1x2 jumper plate, and then 1x1 round plate. Large battleship, so something like maybe the USS Missouri, maybe what is that one called? The Yamato, I think it is. So 1x1, 1x8 plate, 1x6 plate, 1x4 plate, 1x2 jumper plate, and then 1x1 round plate. So it's mostly just kind of building up in a pyramid kind of thing. So this is a small carrier, 2x6 plate, 2x8 plate, 1x2 plate, kind of here, so 2 studs down and on the left side or whatever. So this is looking at it from the back, this is looking at it from the front, and then just 1x1 plate or tile, I guess, of your design. And then this one is very complicated to explain, so I'll try and explain it. So first you need a 2x8 plate. I'm using 2 2x4s, but a 2x8 plate, another 2x8 plate on top of that, So then two 2x8 plates. Then you'll flip it over the main 2x10 plate, and you'll put this 2x8 plate one stud away from either end in the middle, like this. So on the 2x10 plate, you'll have this. Then on either side, 1x4 or 1x8 plate. Like this. So it kind of has that slope like that. Then on the 1x10 or the 4x10 plate, you'll have a 1x4, two studs from the back on the right side, then a 1x2 plate on top of that, and a 1x1 plate on top of that. So for historical accuracy for different countries, you could change up the placement of this and the shape of this technically. So for Japan, I had it a bit more forward than the American one where I had it more back, but I mean, you're kind of in charge of that. So that's basic instructions. Oh, LST here. 1x6 plate, 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate. Then these two 1x1 plates with the horizontal clips, and a minifigure hand to designate tanks. And then when you get to an island, right, you have the island, you take off the tank piece, whatever, and then you can land it wherever, and then you can set up the terrain on the different table corresponding to that. And then, you know, when you're having naval battles, you gotta have numbers in the mid double digits. So I think I have like, I used to have a lot more carriers, but this is, I think this is 4, I think there's 7 small carriers, 1 large carrier, I think 3 or 4 of these, 4 of these, like 8 of these, and like 10 of these maybe, for each side. So we have quite a lot of them, and then 2 LSTs per each team. So